All right, today we're going to talk about a real legend. I mean, one of the greatest heroes in all of world literature, the mighty Persian champion Rustam.
But, this isn't just a story about a super strong guy. At its core, there's this devastating question. It really sets the stage for one of the greatest tragedies ever written. So, to really get how we end up there, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning.
And like any great hero, you can bet Rostam's origin story is, well, it's anything but ordinary. I mean, his origin is pure myth. First off, his father, Zal, he was raised by a wise magical bird called the Simurgh. Yeah, a bird. His mother was the beautiful Princess Rudabeh, and their son, Rostam, was so huge at birth that the Simurgh had to step in and teach them how to perform a surgical delivery, basically an ancient C-section, just to save both mom and baby. So right from the moment he takes his first breath, this kid is already larger than life. And get this incredible power wasn't something he had to work for. It was just in him. As a kid, just a kid, he already had the strength to fight and beat lions. That's just wild. It basically cemented him as a legend right from the get-go. Of course, every legendary hero needs a legendary partner, right? For Rostam, that was his horse, Raksh. The name means lightning, which is perfect. This horse was wild, super smart, and nobody else could tame him. Their bond was more than just a man and his horse. It was like this perfect team-up of ultimate human strength and the raw, untamed power of nature itself. So, with his incredible strength and his loyal horse, Rostam's reputation just grew and grew. And it wasn't long before he was called on for a quest that would truly make him a champion. The Haft Khan, or as it's known, the Seven Deadly Trials. Okay, so this is basically Rostam's epic hero's journey, right? A series of impossible tasks, each one harder than the last, all to rescue the captured king Kavus. He's fighting beasts from the natural world. We're talking lions, a massive dragon, and the only reason he survived the dragon is because his horse, Raksh, bravely woke him up mid-attack. Then he crosses over into the supernatural, where he has to outsmart a tricky sorceress and just battle his way through armies of demons. In the final trial, the most dangerous one of them all, a showdown with the terrifying white demon, Div-e-Sephed, deep inside its own dark cave. But here's what's really cool about the ending of this trial. After he beats the demon, Rostam uses its blood, not for more destruction, but for healing. He actually cures the king's blindness with it. It just goes to show he wasn't just some brute who destroyed evil. He was someone who restored order and brought things back into balance. But here's the thing. Rostam's greatest challenge, it wasn't going to be a demon or a dragon or any monster. Nope. It would all come down to a single, fateful night that would set a truly unavoidable tragedy into motion. So picture this. Rostam is out searching for Raksh, his stolen horse, and he meets this princess, Tamina. She's completely captivated by him, and they spend just one night together. When the sun comes up, Rostam is gone. He has absolutely no idea what that one brief encounter is about to lead to. While Shahnameh gives birth to a son, Sorhab, and this kid inherits all of his father's legendary strength. But here's where fate takes a turn. She makes a choice, a really fateful one. She never tells Sorhab who his father is. She keeps it a secret, I guess hoping that destiny would just figure it out and bring them together someday. And that decision, it leads us directly to the most famous and maybe the most heartbreaking part of this whole epic story. So years go by. Sorhab grows up to become a mighty warrior, just like his dad. He ends up joining an opposing army, and, wouldn't you know it, fate puts him on a battlefield, face to face with Persia's greatest champion. And as they get ready to fight, the tragic irony is just, it's overwhelming. You have the two greatest warriors on the planet staring each other down, and neither one has a clue that they are father and son. They fought 3 times, and in those first couple of fights, Sorhab, the younger, stronger one, he actually gets the better of Rostam. He almost beats him, but he shows mercy. He doesn't want to be the guy who kills the legendary old hero.
But in that final, desperate battle, Rustam is pushed to his absolute limit. He has to summon every last bit of his strength and his experience. He lunges, overcomes the young warrior, and strikes a fatal blow.
And as Sohrab is lying there, dying, he tells the man who defeated him that his father, the great Rostam, will definitely avenge his death. And then he shows him an armband his mother gave him, a token from the father he never met. And in that one moment, the whole devastating truth just crashes down on Rostam. He's killed his own son.
You know, there's a reason this story has stuck around for centuries. It gets at these huge, powerful ideas, the cruelty of destiny, the danger of pride and secrets, and that really sobering thought that even the strongest person in the world can't escape fate. So, after a life filled with impossible wins and one absolutely unbearable tragedy, how does a hero like Rostam finally die? Well, what's so amazing is that Rostam was never ever beaten in a fair fight. He was undefeated his entire life. So his end didn't come from a stronger enemy. It came from betrayal, from inside his own family.
His half-brother, Shagad, was jealous, and he came up with this really cowardly plan. He had a deep pit dug, filled it with poisoned spears, and then covered it up. And while out on a hunt, both Rostam and his loyal horse Raksh fell right into the trap.
But even then, mortally wounded, Rostam wasn't done. He asked for his bow one last time, and with the absolute last of his strength, he fired an arrow and pinned his traitorous brother to a tree. He delivered justice with his very last breath. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? Rostam's life was all about this incredible, superhuman strength. But his legacy? That's about resilience and unbreakable will. Which makes you wonder, can you really call a hero defeated if they die undefeated in their spirit?